Good morning, it's Christine Line. I'm the owner of Push Fit Studio. I'm your health and wellness coach, and I am super excited to help you live a life that you truly love in a body that feels amazing. So, gonna try something new for a while. We're gonna do some video blogs. I love to write, but sometimes I'm crunched for time, and I'm a no excuses kind of person. Plus, it gives you a chance to see a little bit of my personality, and if I fumble, oh well. I wanted to talk a little bit today about bioindividuality, and so I decided to shoot this video in our consult room, our nutrition office at the studio, because I don't know how many of our clients come in here. A lot of them do. Nutrition is a huge part of what we do. Wellness coaching is a huge part of what we do. But I wanted to talk about how at different stages of your life, different things will work for you. We get this whole fixed mindset around, okay, there's a certain way I should be eating or a certain way that I should be exercising. And sometimes we have a little bit too much information. We've read too many books, we've read too many magazines, we've heard too many expert friends or experts tell us what we should be eating, that we start to think about, well, I should be eating that food, therefore it must be good for me, right? I should be eating kale all the time and kale smoothies, or I should be eating lean meat or animal products, or I should be taking these vitamins or these supplements. So one of the things I want to challenge you today is to think about the language that you hear yourself saying as it comes time to eat or exercise or whatever. And are you shoulding all over yourself? Literally. What should you do? I want to challenge you to think about what feels good to my body right now, today. What food makes me feel more energized, more alive, more mentally sharp and clear? What exercise leaves me feeling more balanced, again, energized, stronger, sharper mental clarity? As we go through different phases of our life, our bodies will need different things. So when we're training, sometimes we're younger, or we have a lot less stress load in our lives, or we're training for a specific event, and then we can tolerate more intensity in our programming, right? At that point, our needs around food will also be different to supplement and complement our training at that specific moment in time. There may be seasons of your life where all of a sudden you've got this like crazy stress load, you're like going through all kinds of stuff with your kids and your spouse, and you've got mega projects at work. You're really pressed for time, you're having trouble sleeping. When the stress loads up here, your food needs to be adjusted as well. So there's certain things that you can do with your food that might work better for you than other things. So, and similarly with your exercise, what worked for you a year ago or 3 years ago might not be the same exact thing that you need today. So one of the things that I'm really passionate about is getting my clients the best results possible from their programming, from their lifestyle coaching, their wellness coaching, their personal training, programming, and exercise. And that's really not a cookie cutter approach. Yes, there are general guidelines. I mean, at the end of the day, we all need to drink water, more water, less sugar. There are some foundational things like that. And yes, you will feel worse when you try to eliminate some of those toxic substances from your life if you have been just consuming tons of them. There are some foundational principles that everybody does start on, whether they're with us or with someone else. I encourage you to start from the basics, but also allow yourself the space that as you evolve, as your fitness evolves, as your knowledge around nutrition and your relationship with food evolves, that you start to work in and think about what's working for me right now. Because my life is different today than it was, 6 months ago or 3 years ago. And there's been times in my life where I've been training super hard for lots of events. I've had less stress in my life, or, I've been in a different place. The environment was different where I was. And I worked really well with like a totally different diet than I eat today. So again, I want to encourage you to think about that. Reflect back on what is my general outlook on food and exercise. Am I just doing what I think I should be doing or what someone else is telling me to do? Or am I doing something that is nourishing me, balancing me, working for me, right? What I want to do is encourage you. You can work with a coach on this, or you can work with yourself. Start with where you want to go. right? So you know what your ultimate goal is. If your ultimate goal is weight loss, that's great. The weight loss will come once your body finds balance. There's a whole other blog on that. If your goal is sports performance, or if your goal is just to have energy and wellness and just to be able to live pain-free, those are all amazing things. And there are action steps that you can take with a coach to get there. But one of the mistakes I find is that even with my clients, you guys that are my clients, I always talk to you, and I want to make sure that you hear me on this, that just because I tell you to do something, or I suggest, I don't really tell you to do something, but if I suggest, hey, have you tried this? Don't just take it for face value. You got to be your own scientist, because what works in my body is going to be completely different than what works in yours, right? Types of proteins that work for me might be totally different, and that's where I work with you to figure that out. So I want to encourage you this week to just do a little bit of reflection on the exercise I'm doing, what's working really well for me right now, what am I feeling really good and strong and energized by, what's leaving me drained, right? What can I do to adjust that? If you're already working with a coach, you can talk to them about helping you adjust it or balance your program, or just be mindful and start paying attention and balancing yourself out. Secondly, I want to challenge you to look at your food. Pick one or two things. Pay attention to the energy that the food is giving you. Are you feeling drained, heavy, and lethargic after you eat certain things, and more energized after you eat other things? Start to make a list of what's working for you in general. Just brain dump things. These types of exercises, these types of food, these types of relationships and people. Start to just make a list of things that are working for you right now, and then just go do more of that. All right, it's that simple. Being healthy, being fit, enjoying your life is really not that complicated. The thing is, we let all this information and clutter and distraction get in the way. So you have everything you need inside of you just to tune in, realize what your body already knows, what it needs to get healthy, what it needs to get stronger and fitter, and start applying your own intuition into your fitness life. All right, I wish you guys all the best. Put those things into practice this week. I would love to hear your comments below. And that's it. We'll talk to you guys next week. Have a good one.